Tyler from Aspire Sports, and who are the top waiver wire ads for week 12 of the fantasy football season? Each passing week, the waiver wire gets slimmer and slimmer as we approach the end of the season. So it's slim picking out there. Some of these guys might not be available in your league. I'm looking at guys who are currently rostered in under 50% of leagues. Also, this is being recorded before your Monday Night Football game. So just keep that in mind. If there's a big injury or something like that, I'll, of course, make a video on that. So with that being said, if you aren't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest content. Also, if you enjoy the video as well, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. With that being said, let's get into the video. The first guy is going to be Elijah Moore. And I know he's probably not available in a lot of your leagues, but just double check to see if he is, because currently in ESPN leagues, he's available in over 60% of them. So just double check to see if he's there. And if he is there, he needs to be the top ad this week in fantasy football. Since week 6, he had a bye week in week 6, the New York Jets then. Since week 6, he is wide receiver number 6 in 0.5 PPR scoring league. Wide receiver number 6. He was an uber talented wide receiver coming out of college, one of the best route runners, one of my favorite prospects coming out of college. The man just needs a serviceable quarterback. If he can get that, there's a lot of potential here with Elijah Moore. Him and Joe Flacco looks like they have a pretty good connection. Hopefully that continues if Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback. So right now for me, he is the top waiver wire ad. The next guys here, there's going to be 2 of them. They play on the same team, both New York Jet players as well. It's going to be Ty Johnson and Tevin Coleman. You have Michael Carter, who suffered a high ankle sprain. He's expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully. So one of these guys is going to become relevant. For me personally, I would want Ty Johnson just because the New York Jets have 2 wins. They're playing from behind a lot. So Ty Johnson would be the guy that I would want in fantasy football, especially in your PPR leagues, where Tevin Coleman looks like he might be more of the early down back in this offense, and then Ty Johnson comes in on 3rd down. But another big thing is that Joe Flacco didn't target the running back position nearly as much as Mike White did. So that's a big concern with Ty Johnson's value going forward. Neither one of them I'm overly crazy about, but if you need to add somebody and you're like, my gosh, I just need to play somebody, I would want to play Ty Johnson over Tevin Coleman just because of the receiving upside. He ran more routes than Tevin Coleman. So that's that. That's where we're at. Once again, this is week 12 of the waiver wire. This is what you get. So Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson are the next guys. Next, we have Cam Newton, who's going to be the top quarterback ad for this week. Really, he should have been added prior to this week, but he's still available in over 50% of your ESPN leagues right now. So if you need a quarterback and you don't have a top-tier guy, add Cam Newton. He showed this weekend why he can be a top 10 quarterback in fantasy football. The rushing potential is just huge for quarterbacks. And Cam showed he has a very safe floor, a very high safe floor, and a very high ceiling. That's just what these quarterbacks, these rushing quarterbacks offer to you on a week-to-week basis. Take a look at Jalen Hurts. Is Jalen Hurts the best passer? No. Is Cam Newton the best passer? No. But what do they offer? That rushing potential that you want in quarterback. So Cam Newton, he should have already been added. But if he's still available, 100%, if you need a quarterback, go out and add him. So Cam Newton is the next guy. Next, we have Boston Scott. And this team has just become so run-heavy over the past 4 weeks. No team right now is averaging more rushing attempts. And you can attribute that to Jalen Hurts, of course, because he's contributing to the running game. But also, no team is averaging more rushing attempts right now at the running back position than the Philadelphia Eagles right now. So this team has completely changed their identity. They're a very run-heavy team. Jordan Howard now has a knee sprain. He's going to be out for at least this week. I'd imagine the next 2 weeks as they have a Week 14 bye. And this team gets the New York Giants and the New York Jets. Beatable matchups for this team that's been playing really well. Now that they've totally changed their philosophy on offense. So Boston Scott becomes a guy who's going to see a larger role going forward in a very, very run-heavy team. So Boston Scott is the next guy on the list. The next guy on the list is going to be Cedric Wilson. You had CeeDee Lamb get hurt in this game, has a concussion, has to clear concussion protocol. And this is on a short week when this team plays on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. So he has to clear before then. Now, if he can't clear, you already have Amari Cooper. I believe Amari Cooper is already out due to COVID. Let me know if I'm wrong down the chat, but I don't think Amari Cooper can play in this game due to the timeline and the testing and everything. So I don't think he can play. So that means that Cedric Wilson would be the next guy up with Michael Gallup. Those would be the 2 guys. Now, this is a tough matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders, who actually on the season have been pretty solid against opposing wide receivers. So this is a tough matchup, but this offense, did not look good this past weekend. Now, contributed that to also 2 stud wide receivers being out. So this offense did not look good. So this is a beatable matchup on the ground. So maybe this team runs the football a whole lot and just controls the ground game. But Cedric Wilson and Michael Gallup fall into the spot where there's a lot of opportunity here for these guys in a very potent offense. So Cedric Wilson would be the next guy. The next guy on the list is going to be Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, who this past weekend actually produced because you had A.J. Brown out of this game, in and out of the game, and also Julio Jones is on IR. We've seen this early in the season when both these guys were hurt as well, that Nick Westbrook produced. Now, when everybody added him to play the New York Jets, he ended up getting hurt early in that game. So a lot of fantasy managers probably have a sour taste in their mouth right now because of what he did to them. But this upcoming weekend is against the New England Patriots, which is a really tough matchup. I don't feel great about this. This is why he's a little bit lower. If it was a better matchup, he'd be a little bit higher. But right now, it's a tough matchup. We don't know if A.J. Brown's going to play or not. Ryan Tannehill just does not look very good without Derrick Henry and especially A.J. Brown out. But there's not a whole lot of playmakers on this offense right now. He's a guy who produced with both these wide receivers down, so would kind of be the next guy up. So if you're desperate and A.J. Brown is out once again, throw him out there and hopefully he does something. So Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is the next guy. Next, we have streaming options at the quarterback position. The first guy is going to be Taylor Heinicke. This week, he gets the Seattle Seahawks, who it's not the greatest matchup, but they just did get beat up by Colt McCoy. So it's a beatable matchup for Taylor Heinicke, who so far this season hasn't been playing that bad. Right now, he's quarterback number 15 in fantasy football. He's not awful, all right? And he has that rushing potential that you love to see in the quarterback. So Taylor Heinicke would be one of my first, well, it would be first Cam if he's available. And next, Taylor Heinicke if he's there. Next, we have Teddy Bridgewater. This upcoming weekend gets the Los Angeles Chargers, and this team should be able to run the ball pretty effectively against the Chargers, who have been pretty bad against the run this season. But you just have Big Ben have a decent game against them as well. This is a team that plays at a pretty fast pace, and the Los Angeles Chargers has a lot of passing attempts. So this game could turn into a sneaky shootout here, and Teddy Bridgewater has some upside in this game, especially because he has plenty of playmakers on the offense side of the ball to support him as well. So that does it. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.